Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the absolute magic of turning literal trash into treasure. We are moving past the doom and gloom of pollution, and instead, we're going to uncover the awe-inspiring alternative materials that are redesigning our world from the ground up.
Okay, let's look at our roadmap for today. We're going to start by establishing the stakes with the global waste crisis, then check out Yale's breakthrough bioplastic, look at how bio-lubricants are powering industry, and finally wrap up with the rock-rose gin loop.
All right, part one, the global waste crisis.
Before we get to the cool solutions, we kind of have to understand the terrifying scale of our current linear economy. 300 million. That staggering figure is the number of tons of plastic we create globally every single year. And honestly, because of our throwaway culture and our heavy reliance on single-use stuff, that volume is projected to double in the next 20 years if we just maintain business as usual. To put that into perspective, if we do absolutely nothing, by 2050, the plastic in the ocean will likely outweigh the fish. It's a system fundamentally designed to fail.
So how do we fix it? Well, shifting away from that linear model means moving to a circular economy. The goal here is zero waste. It's an economy where we completely rethink what we call waste, not as garbage, but as a highly valuable raw ingredient. And it achieves this through continuous loops. Biological materials safely break down and return to the earth, while technical materials are endlessly cycled back into production without losing any quality. We're not just talking about recycling a little bit more here, it is a total ground-up redesign of how we consume.
Moving right along to part two, Yale's breakthrough bioplastic.
Let's look at our first mind-blowing innovation. The contrast here is just wild. Traditional plastics rely heavily on fossil fuels, require massive amounts of energy to produce, and literally take centuries to degrade in the environment. But then you have Yale's bioplastic. It uses a feedstock of lumber mill waste. And the absolute best part? It degrades completely in just 3 months. This is exactly what we mean when we talk about a biological loop and a circular economy.
And the process to actually achieve this is fascinating. Researchers take literal wood dust, which, is usually just a super problematic waste byproduct at lumber mills, and they apply a biodegradable solvent. This breaks the wood powder down into a nanoscale slurry of organic polymers and cellulose. And from that slurry, they cast a really robust, high-strength bioplastic. They are taking something utterly valueless and transforming it into a high-performance material that just melts back into nature when its job is done. It's incredible.
Okay, part three. Powering industry with bio-lubricants. So transitioning from the packaging we hold in our hands to the heavy industry that runs our world, we find another massive shift. Normally, heavy machinery relies on some pretty highly toxic petroleum derivatives for lubrication. But instead of using those hazardous chemicals, innovators tied to the Front Ship project and Novomont over in Poland are doing something completely different. They're harvesting discarded animal fats, think pork, sheep, and cow fat, as well as vegetal oils like sunflower, soybean, and castor from the local agricultural sector. They reprocess these waste streams to create powerful natural biolubricants. They are taking regional waste and turning it right back into an essential industrial resource.
Now you might be wondering if this stuff actually works as well as the old toxic stuff. Well, these biolubricants aren't just some feel-good, eco-friendly compromise. They actually outperform traditional chemicals. They're completely non-toxic and biodegrade rapidly, which is obviously fantastic for the environment. But from a pure performance standpoint, they offer high oxidative stability, low viscosity, and a high flash point. Basically, that translates to way less wear and tear on machinery, meaning the equipment lasts longer. On top of all of that, they're highly cost-effective. So it's a huge win for the environment and a massive win for the bottom line.
Finally, let's look at part four, the rock-rose gin loop.
Take a look at this staggering number, 98.3%. When Dunnet Bay distillers took a hard look at their rock-rose gin product, they realized their traditional 750-gram ceramic and glass bottles were incredibly heavy and resource-intensive. So they completely redesigned their delivery system by swapping out the heavy bottle for a lightweight, flexible pouch that weighs just 12.6 grams. That is a 98.3% reduction in packaging weight. Just think about the massive reduction in carbon emissions alone from not having to transport all that heavy material around the country.
And the sheer simplicity of their consumer experience is brilliant. As a customer, you buy the lightweight foil pouch, empty the gin into the original, beautiful rock rose bottle you already keep at home, and then you just pop the empty pouch right into the regular UK Post. It goes directly back to the distillery, and the company seamlessly recycles the pouch themselves. By taking complete ownership of the entire waste stream, they totally eliminate any confusion for the consumer and reclaim 100% of the material value.
But here's the real kicker. Designing out waste isn't just good for the planet, it makes total financial sense. This closed-loop system reduced the distillery's packaging and shipping costs by £10.20 on every single case they send out. This proves that true circularity isn't some financial burden. It is a massive competitive advantage that cuts your costs while drastically shrinking your environmental footprint.
So, that brings us to our final thought for this explainer. If brilliant minds can take stuff like lumber mill dust and discarded animal fats to replace some of our most toxic, persistent materials, what other waste in your home or your business is just sitting there waiting for a second life? The circular economy shows us that waste is really just a failure of imagination. I hope this look into alternative materials leaves you feeling completely inspired to spot the hidden value in the everyday things we throw away. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and keep looking for those loops.